Pistons no-show in Game 7. We're talking about it. Good morning, 97.1. It's one thing to lose. This series had been competitive. It's one thing to lose. It stings to lose on your home floor. Stings to lose that way.
Yeah.
That's a no-show. And, John, all year, the thing we highlighted with this team was effort and defense. You want to know why they lost the game last night? You can focus on the cold shooting if you'd like. It certainly didn't help. They lost that game because they didn't play with enough effort on defense. From the jump, Mitchell's getting to the rim. He's forcing 2-on-1s. He's facilitating. It was too much Matador defense. So you start giving them high percentage looks. You give up offensive rebounds. You let them get to the free throw line. And you don't have anything going the other way in transition. The faucet gets turned off. It's over. That's the recipe for getting blown out. I could handle much better if this game went to the fourth quarter competitively and they made a couple more shots than you. I can't. I'm having a hard time knowing this team went out like that. Because for as big as Friday night was, this big culture win on the road, using the bench, all in, all hustle, to see none of it in Game 7 on their home floor. Yeah. Why they lost the game, to me, it was their defense. If you're asking to go a little deeper, I mean, Tobias Harris, 0 for 6, didn't make a shot from the field. Games 5, 6, and 7, he was a 25% shooter and made one of his 11 threes. And again, they were picking on him on defense.
Yeah.
You tell me, John, why did they lose that game?
I think they just ran out of gas. And if you're going to say it's defense, they ran out of gas. If you could say it's rebounding, they ran out of gas. If you could say it's especially at the beginning of the game, missing some of the easy shots. I remember Dennis Jenkins driving the lane and had a little floater. He misses. Like, there were plenty of options that you could point to, and I felt like their legs just weren't there.
How does that happen,
And I understand Cleveland is in the same boat. They went 7 in their first series. They're playing the same schedule that the Pistons are. It just felt like the Pistons last night were playing in mud.
I don't disagree with the fact that if you watched, they didn't have enough juice. But I have a hard time with that because you're right. Cleveland played the same number of games.
Cleveland dug deeper, and they had more to go to.
Well, yeah, but they also play less guys. And the Pistons publicly talked about, we're a physical team. We're going to wear you down. Right? That was the thought process. We're a deeper team. We're the better defense. We'll wear you down over a 7-game series. And instead, they're squeezed to a pulp. That's hard to accept.
I'm not buying the tired out thing either. You had energy Friday night,
You would think so.
And the teams, Jim's right, played the same amount of games. Talent won last night, I think. I mean, Donovan Mitchell played one of his best games in his career. And it's because he facilitated and was getting others involved early. I put a little on Cade last night. A star should play better in that spot, at least early in game. You could see the dam breaking, though.
Well, let's talk about it. Early in game, they did a good job pressuring him, getting the ball out of his hand. The Pistons had to have other people bring the ball up. Cade was the only Piston in double figures at halftime. Cleveland had 4 scorers. They had Mobley, they had Allen, they had Mitchell, and they had Merrill, all in double figures at halftime.
Let me throw this at you, both you guys. Cleveland was 5-0 in their last 7 Game 7s. Mm-hmm. Some of the players were there, some haven't been, I don't think the Pistons' first Game 7 against Orlando did them any favors last night. Their first Game 7 was pretty easy.
And that they won comfortably?
Yes. And to bring...
false sense of security?
And I think Cleveland, other than Harden, brought their A game last night for Game 7.
Are you suggesting false sense of security?
Yeah.
As strong as they looked in Game 6 and the previous Game 7, that they came in and thought this was going to be easier than it was.
They went and had they had the comeback, but it turned into a blowout in Game 6 against Orlando. And then you went down to Cleveland, kind of did the same thing, and you come back home and you sort of just mentally think a little bit. You're not quite as prepared for what a Game 7 usually brings. And and then Cleveland brought their A-game team, too. Look, I didn't turn it off until the start of the fourth quarter. And the reason was I didn't trust the Cavs to play that good in the second half. I didn't.
Well, they were missing free throws. They were kind of keeping the door open if the Pistons could get anything going.
But Mitchell was brilliant last night. And I also just even a minor note about him, he used his fouls.
Yeah.
Something I complain about all the time. If you have them, use them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing I think you look at and when you say talent, I think you're spot on. Donovan Mitchell getting other players involved. When you have other players that you can rely on to be involved. Now, it clearly wasn't James Harden. Like, he wasn't shooting well last night, but when he doesn't shoot well, you have a chance that Evan Mobley does, Jarrett Allen does. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell took care of himself. Sam Merrill did. Dean Wade, who is a defensive player, was a guy that was somewhat contributing. Like, that's where you look at the Pistons and you say, okay, well, if Cade is going to try and get other players involved, who was he going to try and get involved? Number one is Tobias Harris. Yep. Well, he went 0 from the floor. And then it's Jalen Duren. And I know Jalen Duren was trying to create more. It was kind of capitalizing on what he did in Game 6, but he wasn't able to get anything going.
Yep. I mean, look down the roster. Like, Dennis Jenkins is a starter on this team. He shot 4-12. Lassard, not known to be an offensive player. Was he 2-7?
Yeah. Duncan Robinson actually shot fine. He just wasn't getting enough shots.
Yeah. Let's get to the phones. I want to hear from fans today. 248-539-9797. I mean, there's clearly a lot that went wrong in that game. What stuck out to you? And we are taking inventory. Did you make it to the end? Like, you said enough.
Enough. Yeah, I gave up at halftime.
I went to the game. My thought was, Game 7, I'll pay for it tomorrow, but it should be a hell of a game.
Right.
That place is going to be incredible.
And then it wasn't.
And Stoney at halftime goes, get out of here. Go get some sleep. He knows this schedule. And I said, no. I mean, it's 17 points. I'll stick around. Start of the fourth quarter. All right, let's get out of here. They're down 26 going to the fourth quarter. I'd seen enough.
Yeah.
If you click the game off, you're at home, remote. When did that happen? Let's get to Drew in Roseville. Drew, good morning.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Listen, man, with everything you guys have been saying this morning, you guys are right. You guys are spot on. You can be happy about the season in a whole, but you got to be disappointed about that effort last night, dude. You can't lay a turd on your home court in a Game 7. You just can't do that. I mean, as much as they played well in Game 6, they came out last night and it was a total team loss.
Yep.
I mean, there was nothing good about last night. And for JB to come out and say what he did, I would have rather him come out and said, listen, this game's on me. I didn't get these guys prepared mentally, physically. We just didn't. It was my fault. This game's on me. Instead of saying, I can't be disappointed in this crew. That's BS to me. Okay? Because that's the last image the fan base has of this team now is last night's game going into next season and in this offseason. So, I mean, obviously we're a work in progress. We're a little bit ahead of our skis right now, as far as, winning 14 games 2 years ago and then winning whatever we did last year and then getting the number 1 seed this year. But
it's trending the right way.
Like that.
It's trending the right way. It's just hard to stomach.
Yeah.
Drew, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, and as far as JB goes, a lot was made about this against his former team. I don't know that he wanted to go to the podium after his team lost to Cleveland and say, I lost this one. It's on me. I mean, there's already going to be that narrative. Yeah. I'm sure the last thing he wanted to do was say they were right. Yeah. And he also didn't want to throw guys under the bus because he feels like he has a decent nucleus. I just think there's no harm in admitting what last night was, a disappointment.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to say the season's a disappointment. That's his prerogative. I just feel differently. I think when you're the 1 seed, you should win more than one round. People can choose to see it differently.
Well,
I'm not making this the future's bleak or anything.
His description was pretty spot on. I mean, they did lay a turd.
It was a stinker.
And I mean, last night, I wonder how many, between friends and you're texting your buddies, like how many poop emojis were sent back and forth last night.
Flush. Flush it from your system. But now the season's over. And look, this is going to be a fascinating offseason. I don't think we're going to get to all of that today, but we will be spending a lot of time talking about the future of this Pistons team because it's pretty clear what this team needs. 248-539-9797. We got a ton of phone calls. We're going to get to you guys coming up next. It's 97.1.